And then optionally taking both hands on the heels, coming into a more intense back bend, or with the hands on the hips. And then when you're done, just come out really slowly, hang down in your child's pose. Just taking a counter pose for that strong back bend. Well done. Checking in with the breath. Just taking your chin down towards your chest if you can. Well done, guys. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Roll the shoulders. Make movements, just random movements with the neck. Hannah, your cat is fully participating this morning. And then just come back onto the toes, just stretching out the ankles, the calves. Then push into the heels. We're going to come up slowly, wriggle the toes, leaning back and forward. Relax the head down. And then just start curling up really slowly, maybe moving side to side as you curl up, stretching the back of the body. Feel that stretch going across the hips, then moving across the back of the waist, then coming across to the back of the chest, the shoulders, and release the jaw. And just make sure you can feel your jaw moving side to side as with gravity, just to check you're not holding any tension in the jaw. Okay. So I thought we would do a little down dog against the wall, and then we can really emphasize the upper body and just opening up across the chest. This is all energizing stuff. In yoga, back bends and stretching the arms up, etc. That is all conducive to picking the energy up. Okay, Hannah, I know you know all this, but so just take the arms quite wide. If you start to pull your arms in, you'll feel these muscles switching on. You want to get to the point just before these muscles here switch on, and then take the hands against the wall, and then just start stepping back, maybe have the feet about hip width apart, and then just start sliding down and really push into the hands as if you're standing on your hands and your feet. Really stretching out the upper body. Keep pushing into the hands, lots of energy through the arms. Just let the head hang down, you can come a bit lower. And then bend the knees and come back to standing. I'm just going to add something else to this. I don't know how well you can see this, but we're just going to take one leg across the other, like this. So don't be keen or, be mindful. We're not trying to line the toes up like this. We don't want this to happen because we don't want to hyperextend the back knee. We need to be able to switch that leg on, giving it the space. So the feet are just going to be, a little bit further forward, yeah? Come back into your down dog here and just feel that stretch in the leg, maybe a little bit more intense, still focusing on the upper body as well. Lengthening right up the spine, the base of the spine, tailbone moving away from the wall, hands pushing into the wall, and then see if you can slide your hands further down, and you might need blocks to put your hands on, but if you can, hang forward here. Take the weight onto this back foot, really push down into that back foot, don't lock it out, keep a micro bend in the back knee, feel that stretch. So the torso is just draping right down towards the thigh. And then we'll take the weight onto the front foot. So most of the weight is now on the front foot. Feel that stretch intensify up the back leg. Should be a bit of a intense stretch now. And then just come back to the weight being evenly distributed on both feet. So now we're working up the backs of the legs here. We're working the bladder meridian or nadi or channel, whatever you want to call it. Obviously crucial for elimination, cleansing. So just release the knees and come up slowly. Just unravel the legs. Just move around. Do whatever you need to do. Shake out the legs. Take a few breaths. Take your time, and whenever you feel ready, we'll come back with the other leg across, back to our down dog on the wall. Pushing into the wall with the hands. Stretch the tailbone away from the wall. Feel that stretch right up the back of the torso. Make sure you haven't locked out your legs, and then just start sliding the hands down slowly, coming down into this forward bend. So the weight is on the back foot. Pushing down into that foot like you're squashing bubble wrap. And then feel the lightness in the torso just draping all the way down. And stay here, and then maybe move the weight onto the front foot now. Take the weight onto the front foot, really feel the lightness in the back leg and feel how that intensifies that stretch. Really releasing any blocked energy that's going to get in the way of that bladder function. Then taking the weight onto both legs, pushing down into the legs. And drape the head, make sure that the jaw is nice and relaxed, just hanging down towards the floor. And then just release. Uncross the legs, come up slowly, roll the shoulders, release the neck. Maybe take 2 breaths to come up, shake out the legs. Well done. What we'll do next? Yeah. Okay. So, obviously I can't see much of you now, which is fine because, you know, obviously know you. We're going to do something now, taking the legs out to the side. And if don't do anything just now, but if I ask you just to take your arms out and just windmill, so you're taking your left arm to your right foot and back up and down. There's not a lot happening there. I'm just kind of wafting my arms about. But if you focus on keeping the weight distribution even on both feet, when you take, so this will be your right hand, when you take your right arm down to the left, instead of letting the weight go onto the left foot, keep weight on here and you'll feel the core coming into this. You'll feel it's much more of a job to do. We're not just wafting around. So let's just join in whenever you're ready. We're just going to come down and up. And this is going to help with the digestive function as well. Inhale up, exhale down. Sure that you keep that focus on the soles of the feet so that you can feel the weight is not shifting from side to side, and you're controlling this from the core. And then we're going to come into a more intense position now. So the next time your left hand comes down to the right side, see if you can put your hand on the floor, that's fine. If not, just on the leg. Taking your right hand onto the back of the hip and pull that shoulder blade back. So we're coming into a twist now. Make sure you've still got weight on that left foot. Pushing down with the feet towards the left. Twisting up with the torso towards your right. If you want to, you can take the hand up towards the ceiling. But just mind your shoulder if you're having any issues with your shoulder. So you can hold this for a few more breaths as long as you're comfortable. Really feel the core working here. It's the core that's pushing you around in both directions. And then just come back down. Bend the knees, hang forward. Just nod the head side to side, round in circles. And then maybe just come back up. And then down to the other side. Keeping the weight even on both feet. Down, pushing into the floor with the hand and both feet. And the left hand on the back of the hip. Draw the shoulder blade back. Feel the core switching on, and then just float the arm up towards the ceiling. So it's all coming from the legs and the core. Nice easy shoulders. Take a few breaths here. And then gently just come back down. Take your time, just hang forward for a bit. And then just hanging down halfway, we're just going to just check in with the jaw, okay? So you might want to look up for now just to see what I'm doing. It's not a lot. It's just, if you just turn your head from side to side, you should feel the jaw hanging down. It's a good look. And then the other way. So as you move, and then you can start moving your chin in, you should feel that jaw just moving around, and that's an indication of whether you're holding tension in the jaw. And obviously that's one of the responses in the stress, fight, flight response. I think that's the fight response, if your jaw is clenched. So just check in with your jaw. Move your head side to side, then start taking the chin towards the chest. Just feel what happens in the jaw. You should really feel the mouth closing then as the jaw drops down into the top of the mouth. And then if you lift your head up, you just feel the jaw opening. So just move around. Random movements to to make sure that your jaw is making these random movements to match. And slowly just bring yourself all the way down onto the floor and come back. And we'll come into a nice supine twist. So you'll have options with this. If you've got lower back issues, then the easiest thing is just to keep your legs parallel. I'm trying to make sure I'm in the camera, it's a bit awkward. So keep your legs parallel and then just bring your knees right up to your chest and across to the right side and just stay here. Or you can take your left leg across the right one, shout your hips towards the left and then come over, and this will be a little bit more intense around the sacrum, and that's going to help. Again, that's working with that kidney energy again. So get yourself into your supine twist that suits you today. And just relax. Breath. Just taking the feedback from the body about what's happening, whether or not this is comfortable, not letting the conscious part of the brain preempt anything and induce tension. Inhale, lengthen up the back of the spine and really just let go of the hips and allow the body to receive that stretch so long as the body is comfortable. And then gently start to unravel the legs, bringing the knees back up to the center slowly. Give your knees a hug. Just reorient yourself on the center of the mat again. And then when you're ready, just go over to the other side. Remember to shunt the hips in one direction and move the knees in the other. And keep the knees really high up towards the chest. That makes it a lot easier. Yeah, that's better. It makes it a lot easier. It takes it more away from the lower back and the sacrum, which can be a little bit uncomfortable at times, and just makes it a little more pleasant to stay here in this twist. Inhale, lengthen up the back of the spine. Sink all the way down into the mat and let go. Surrender to the stretch. And again, just slowly, gently start to unravel from this twist. Gently take yourself back to the center. Get yourself nice and cozy. Take whatever movements you feel you need, anything that you need to shake out or stretch or twist or give your cat a nice cuddle. I'm so jealous. Hannah's got a beautiful cat there. I've just got two horrible yelpy dogs. So, and when you're ready, just take yourself into your relaxation. Feet down at the corners of the mat, just roll the feet open. And then take the arms about the same angle as the legs. And roll the shoulders open, resting on the backs of the hands, palms facing up. If you've got lower back issues, take the feet up to the edge of the mat, bend the knees, and then just drop the knees in towards each other. So we don't want to be holding the legs up with any sort of tension. We've just gone through a whole hour of lovely releasing tension, and you want to keep it there. So if you want to, you can take one hand on the lower belly, one hand on the upper chest, letting the elbows just hang down towards the floor, relaxing. And just feel your body breathing itself. All the way in, all the way out through the nose. Be aware of the physical sensations in the body, the connection points between the body and the mat. The heels, the backs of the legs, back of the shoulders, back of the head, and in the spine. Feel what happens when you inhale. See if you can feel a difference in the way that the various vertebrae are connecting with the floor. Feel how that moves and changes as the breath is shape changing. And then swallow and relax your jaw and your tongue. And feel the tongue just melting down into the base of the mouth and spreading across. Fluid and soft. Feel that fluidity and softness moving, spreading from the tongue, moving down into the back of the throat, to the neck, the soft tissue around the neck and the bony construct of the neck. Moving down into the collarbones, moving down the whole body, down the arms and down the torso. Down towards the hips and the pelvis, and all the way down the legs. And then just be aware of the breath, filling the body up with space and lightness and light. Feel the breath moving from the throat down the centre of the body into the pelvic floor. And be aware of the prana, the energy, the life force that comes in through the breath and rests in the pelvic basin. If there is a natural pause in the breath, then feel free to cultivate it, but never ever ever hold the breath. Just letting the breath come in, and then when your body decides that it needs to breathe out, allow that easy flow of the breath out. And whilst we're in the pauses between the breaths, our cells are breathing, gases are exchanging. And if you're cultivating a pause with your attention in the pelvic basin, See if you can spend a moment with the subtle body. Really feel that energetic body. Energy swirling around the pelvis. Make sure not to hold. Just let the breath come back out when it needs to. And then just come back to a natural breath in and out. So you can really stay here as long as you want. You can stay a bit longer in your relaxation. But I will leave you here. And when it is time for you to come out of your relaxation, just do so slowly and gently. Start with deepening the breath. And then small movements in the fingers and toes. Movements becoming bigger and bigger. And then taking a stretch. And rolling over and just getting up really slowly. Don't just sit bolt upright, as some people do. Take your time. Get up at your own pace, at your own leisure, okay? So I'll just leave you here and say, be safe, be well, be happy, and thank you so much for joining me amidst the internet connection problems and competing with Joe Wicks. So namaste, om shanti. Thank you very much. See you soon. Actually, I don't think I can leave you. I don't think I can leave you. I'll just walk away and leave you.